Hey guys, Machines and Metal here. Just working in the shop today, and I picked up this Honda 30 horsepower outboard motor. This is a tiller control style. Has an electric starter right there. Forward, reverse. It came with this battery. I did a short on this a little while ago, but today I'm actually gonna get into this thing. Got to make some money, so we're gonna get this thing fixed up and try and sell it next week while the salmon are running. So what we've got here is a 4-cycle 3-cylinder Honda outboard motor. I think it's from the mid 90s, maybe the mid to late 90s. And the other day I put together a fuel line for it right here. Put some ends onto some hose and got a primer, and I got a tank somewhere. Tank's over there. I think that's the one I was using. And what I did was I pumped it up with fuel, and I noticed that the fuel was leaking out this Welsh plug here. There's a little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little notch groove on the corner of that Welsh plug, and the fuel was coming out of that plug, which I believe is an overflow on this particular style of carburetor, which means that the needle and seat are stuck. They're not sealing, they're not working. The other two carbs were fine, they didn't leak. Only that bottom one did. And when I bought this from the seller, they told me that it had a leak, so I'm assuming that's what they were talking about. I was able to get it fired up by squirting some fuel down the throat of each of these carburetors and hitting the start button. The machine started, the motor started, and it ran for a few seconds and then died. It sounded good, so what I'm going to do is just pull these 3 carbs off, and we're going to pop this bottom one apart. We're going to take the bowl off, have a look inside, and see if we can figure out why the fuel is overflowing out of this carburetor. Where after that's fixed, if that carb looks nice and clean inside and doesn't have any gunk or gel, I don't think I'm going to bother taking these 2 carbs apart because it's a lot of work to separate them all. We'll see. So I'm just going to get set up with some tools and turn the camera back on. So we're just going to pull this cover off to make accessing this a little bit easier. Guys, I've never actually taken apart one of these 30 horsepower Honda outboards before. I've done a lot of the smaller ones, the 9s and the 6s and the 2.5s, and there might have been a couple of 15s in there, but this 30, I don't generally like working on motors that are this big because they're kind of a brute to work with, to move around, to lift. I had to use my engine hoist to get this thing on the stand and in and out of the truck, and I'm definitely going to need to use the engine hoist. Actually, the engine hoist right now has the camera clamp to it, so it's been a handy engine hoist. But we're gonna have to use it to get it into a barrel and out again. And when the buyer comes to pick it up, we're probably gonna need to use it to load it in the vehicle. And it's just a little more work and a little more effort than I like. So we're probably gonna stay away from doing these bigger motors. Maybe do them a little less often. So anyway, I'm just going to pull the all these bolts off the front that hold all these carburetors onto the manifold and pop this off, and we're going to have a look and see what else we got to do to remove this block of carbs from this motor. All right, there's carb number 1. Pop she goes. Number 2. All right. So 3rd carb comes off like that. All right, so I'm going to lay these carbs, I'm going to number them, then I'm going to lay them out and set the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to pull, I guess because they came off in 3, we're going to pull all three bowls off and have a look inside and see what surprises they got for us. All right, so this is the bottom carb, the one that was giving me the leak problem. So let's just pull the bowl off and have a look inside and see if the float's caught or the needle's stuck. These screws aren't very tight, guys. Usually you got to fight them a little bit more, but I don't know if you can see that in the video. The heads don't look like they're mangled, so I can't tell if somebody's, yeah, these are very loose. Usually they're a lot more of a fight. Sometimes you got to put this upside down in the vise and use your body weight to pop those screws. See, that bowl fell off too, so I don't know if someone's been in here. Oh, look at the mess, guys. It's full of crap. All sorts of good goo in there. Maybe you can see that in the video. And then here's our here's our float right here, guys, and it's jammed. It's caught in the down position, so that will allow the fuel to pour into this carburetor bowl, and the float won't. Oh, it's loosening up now, but it was caught. It's full of junk. There's all sorts of crap in here. So guys, we're gonna have to take these 3 carburetors apart and put them in the ultrasonic cleaner. There's no way it's gonna work like this. So I'm gonna just go ahead, pop the float, the needle, and the jets out of each one of these, and I'll turn the camera back on. You don't need to see that. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then I'll get them in the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll clean them up and put it back together, see what happens. Okay, so I thought I would just turn the camera back on real quick after I pulled these carbs apart. It was pretty easy. Each one of these had one of these tubes that you just popped out with a flathead screwdriver through the carburetor throat right there, and yank them out. They're actually supposed to come apart, so like this one here, this is how it's supposed to look. And all of these are just going to go into the ultrasonic cleaner. These ones are kind of stuck together. You got to yank them out of there. But yeah, so I'm going to clean this stuff now, and I'll turn the camera back on, and I'll throw one of these back together on camera. Then I'll do the other 2, and we'll chuck them back on the motor. We'll see what happens. Okay guys, so here we are a couple days later. I didn't want to bore you with taking these carburetors apart and cleaning all 3 of them on camera, so I in the last 2 days I've taken out the main jets, the jetting, the floats, and the needles, and cleaned them up in the ultrasonic carb cleaner over here. If you don't have one of these guys, I highly recommend you find yourself one. They are great for doing jobs like this. Anyways, what we're going to do now is set the camera back up on the stand, and I'm going to fumble and try to install these 3 carburetors back into here, put this thing back together, and see if we can get it to make some noise. So guys, I kind of cheated a little bit and went ahead and threw this back together off camera. I kind of needed 2 hands and some concentration. I didn't really feel like narrating the whole job. It's basically the reverse of when I took it apart. Put it all back together. I guess if you want a video of how to do these carbs individually, leave a comment down below. I can make a new video for you. Got our choke. Our choke's working, and our throttle. Our throttle seems to be working, so that's good. I'm just going to throw the little airbox cover back on, and the top cover, the flywheel cover, and then we're going to put this thing on our little engine hoist crane right there, and we're going to lower it into a bucket out there, and we're going to see if she'll run. Be right back. Well, so guys, I just thought real quick I'd show you how I do it. We got this old engine hoist from a yard sale. I bought a Ram from Harbor Freight, and we pick up our outboard motors just like that. So we're gonna drop this into a barrel and hook it up to this battery it came with. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. It's a little windy and it might ruin the audio on the recording, but we're in a barrel. We're got water, we got our battery, and we got our fuel tank. So let's fire this baby up, and we're gonna watch and see if we get the little pea water coming out the back, because that'll tell us that our water pump is working. All right. Right there, guys. Man, she runs like a dream. Wow. That was the best $250 I've spent in a long time. Let's put it in gear and see what happens. Beautiful. Let's try reverse. Beautiful. And we still got our little stream right there. Very good. So I'm just gonna let this run in the barrel for like half an hour, let it get hot, make sure that it's happy under different temperatures. Then we're gonna throw the lid on it, guys, give it a good clean, probably change the gear case oil down at the bottom there, put it up for sale. That's the way. We like it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe for some more videos about stuff like this. If anybody wants a little more in-depth video about how I did those carbitrators, leave a comment below and I'll put something together for you. A little bit more detailed. I just didn't want to bore the crowd with doing carbs on a flip video. Thanks for watching.